Sorry, that one was blurry. Can we try it one more time?
You're fired.
I know.
Get out.
We need a professional.
Get out.
I know. I'm
Get
leaving, guys. Don't worry. One of those has to be right.
Or you're fired.
Or I'm fired. But I'm not going to tell you guys if it's not right.
Or you have to bring snacks for everybody.
She's gonna put little smiley faces on everyone's faces. We're good.
How long have you guys been damn drinking?
Not that long. We're live.
Wait, we're live?
Yeah, now.
We're live now.
Oh, shit, okay.
It's raw, it's uncensored, it's live. 24/7, it's chaoticradio.com.
All right now, everybody. We're coming into Festival Addicts, the only show on the internet given to you, the rave culture. Who wants to know what's happening now? Going out, where to go, had a good time, what the crowds are like, and I'm done. Who's in the studio?
Hello, Daniela.
Hello, Mocha Princess.
Hello, Kelly with a K.
Aw, thanks, guys. Hi, everybody.
We also have Mike.
What up, what up?
And
Do we have
Liz.
Liz.
Hello.
Hello, you guys. So, as you guys know, we have had quite a few big weekends. Coachella just wrapped up, and we've also had quite a few of our very own festival addicts who have been out and about. But before we begin and we get into all of that, I kind of want to ask a question. We want to start this new segment called our Question of the Week. And so for everybody who's who's watching out there, why don't you guys answer the question in our comment section? And I just want to know, what was the first music festival that you went to that got you hooked?
Mine was Escape.
What year?
2015.
Okay.
That's my first.
Does it have to be like a multi-day festival? It could be a one-day festival?
It could be whatever festival.
It could be your imagination if that was it.
I would prefer it be a real one, but that's okay.
So what was it about that first festival, Daniela, that made you hooked?
Well, I've always wanted to go to raves since I was in high school, but I didn't have anyone to go with. I remember always wanting to go to Monster Massive, but that was never going to happen. Then I finally got to go to Escape. I always loved Halloween. I never got to dress up growing up, so that was my chance to go to a rave and dress up.
Kelly?
Mine was Beyond Wonderland. I'm trying to remember the year. It was right after we graduated from college.
2011?
Yeah, 2011
Okay.
Beyond, for
That was
sure.
barely legal.
Yeah, that one was, it was different. I had just gotten to a group of friends that started raving. They convinced me I should go, and I was just like, I don't know what to wear. They were like, we got a group theme, just pick something. And I was like, okay. And we get there, and it was just something that was so different than I had ever seen in my entire life. Everybody was dressed up. Everybody was having a good time. Even boys were all dressed up in costumes. I'd never seen that any show I'd ever been at, period. And it was just life-changing. And here I am still stuck.
All right,
Nice.
Spence, what about you?
Me? I guess the one that got me hooked would probably have to be Okeechobee. It was my freshman year of college. I did promotion for it, so I got a bunch of free tickets, and it was during our spring break. But I think the very, very first festival was something that when I was in high school in Boston, like Jingle Ball or like some other small events they do like that. That would probably be the first.
Hey, Spence, where's Okeechobee? Just because I saw Monique kind of look questioning.
So, it's actually in Okeechobee, Florida.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right, Liz, what about you?
Going back 20.
Oh, sorry.
So I would say Creamfields really got me into the festival scene. Even though Austin City Limits got me into festivals, it was Creamfields that got me, like, that's what flipped the switch in my book. And that's when I decided, this is what I want to do. I need to experience this. And in 12 months, in a rolling 12 months, I'll have done 23 festivals in 12 months.
Holy cow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
She is a true
Are
festival
you trying to
addict.
beat my record, Liz? Are you trying to beat my record?
All right.
I don't know if I win the prize or not, but it's
Well, I got
after-
24 in a calendar year. If I do it in a 12-month period, I might. You're getting close.
Yeah, June 1st, I'll have hit 23 the weekend before, and that's when my clock restarts. So.
Damn, you're catching up.
Yeah,
All right.
but if I move it to August 1st, I might be able to go above that. I'll let you know closer to August 1st.
Well, the rest of us want to be involved in this whole festival count system.
Mine's pretty much on pause right now, but if you go back to last year, I can beat you guys.
If you go back to 2015, I'll have all y'all.
Yeah, Festival Passport definitely allowed some of these high numbers going on here.
What about you, B?
24 calendar year.
Huh?
You beat 24 in a calendar year.
Well, if I think back to all the times I wasn't drunk, then I might be able to.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Can you do that?
Not at this very moment. B, what about you?
Coachella 06, Daft Punk.
What a basic bitch.
You just wish you were as basic as me.
Okay, and then to kind of round this segment off, the festival that got me hooked was Escape 2012. That's actually what started this whole thing, so it still holds a soft spot in my heart. I love Halloween, so that's kind of why.
It's the best holiday.
I absolutely agree.
If you're a kid, it's wonderful. If you're an adult and you like raving, it's also wonderful.
It's very much still wonderful. But, since we have Liz and Spence on the phone right now, you guys have been very busy, right? You guys went to Tortuga, right?
Oh yeah, and Ultra.
Oh, we have got to talk about that. So let's talk about Tortuga first, since that is the one that just recently happened. So go ahead and tell us a little bit. So where was it at? Who were the promoters, or what company, or if you guys know about that? How did you guys get in? What was the reason why you guys went? How many days was it?
I'll start off. It was a 3-day festival. It was country festival in Fort Lauderdale. It was to promote the, turtles do their hatching, and they come to the beach there. So it's all about turtles and really kind of wildlife conservation. They had this entire area called Conservation Village where they gave you great information, and it was really, really nice to kind of learn about the turtles and sharks and other aquatic wildlife down there. So that's really what they're promoting the festival for. And lots of great, great country music and rock music too that we got to see. I only got to go the first and third day. Michael went all 3 days. So
Hell yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your experience, Michael.
So we got media passes. I actually never picked up my GA pass because of the location and how they were dealing with that.
Was it hard getting in and stuff like that?
Yeah, but getting into the festival was a breeze for whatever reason. I felt like the security was actually a little bit lacking, and they were even more lacking for us being media. So that's fine.
You know why, right?
Getting around the festival wasn't bad if you don't mind some sand, but they did have actually very well made, basically plastic boardwalks set up to have many large channels that people could walk on.
Was the entire festival on the beach itself? Like there was?
Yeah.
Awesome.
100%. If you want to be up close to the stage, you're standing in sand.
Yeah, I got blisters really bad on the first day because I wore, and a couple people in our group did get blisters. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. It's actually better with your shoes off. There are Yeah, I did on the next day, definitely. But there's one side that's like on the road, but then everything else is on the beach, which was awesome and a lot of fun, except for the whole blisters. That was the only thing I kind of goofed, and that was my own fault.
Could you bring bags in and stuff like that, or no?
Yeah, bags, and then beach towels were encouraged, as well as chairs to sit in. There was chair zones. It's a C3 festival, just like Bonnaroo and ACL. So in the back, they had, seated sections.
Gotcha.
And you could bring your own food in, a 1 gallon bag of food. So that was kind of cool because you could bring your own snacks and all that.
That's my favorite.
Damn, I wish I knew.
In a studio full of foodies, they went,
Yeah.
ooh, food. Yes.
Food.
Speaking of food, why don't you guys tell us what the food was like?
I guess I'll talk about that because I actually checked out a bunch of them. They actually had a lot of good ones. A few of them were ones that we see actually at many festivals. I think the grilled cheese incident, and there was a Korean one that I've seen before. But they had basically almost all very healthy vendors with a lot of vegan options, as well as vegetarian and pescatarian options. I got, I think, a Kia. How do you say it? A Kia bowl, whatever those damn things.
Acai.
Yeah.
Okay, one of those that was amazing and hit the spot when I needed it. I think we got some jambalaya, and then someone else got a noodle dish, and all of the portions were honestly, compared to other festivals, I almost felt like larger.
That's
it wasn't
awesome.
too overpriced. It was normal festival price, probably 10 to 15 for your entree. Sides were smaller and stuff like that. But all the food that me and my friends got, it was actually amazing.
Yeah, I had a power smoothie. In fact, I think I had a couple smoothies this weekend. They were delicious. I did noodles, and we had some beef burgers. So, like, instead of hamburger, it was beef. So that was pretty neat and different. And I forget what else I had, but I went the healthier route on the food, and it was pretty delicious. I will say I was ready to go into the festival to eat food, personally.
Awesome. And then how was the music? All country? All wonderful?
It wasn't all country, and I loved it. There was a lot of country. You got Kenny Chesney, Jason Aldean, Dustin Lynch. Wow. But you got Flo Rida, you got a little rap. You got Sheryl Crow.
I was curious about Flo Rida, actually.
Flo Rida, I loved him, and all my friends. We had a great time for that set. And there was LK. There was some rock, I'd say, as well. Michael Franti, I think it's the Spearheads. A little bit more like reggae.
Michael Franti is amazing. Love him live.
Yeah, great set.
Yeah, I love Dustin Lynch was a surprise for me. I'm really glad, Michael, you made me go to that because I wasn't going to, and you made me go, and I'm really happy I did that. For me, Friday was the big day with Elle King and Joan Jett. And Elle did definitely a little more country, but she did end with America's Sweetheart and X's and O's, which are my two favorite songs from her. Yeah. And then, in fact, Michael, I think you had left to go over to the other stage at that point. And Joan Jett just killed it. Oh, murdered it. It was awesome. It was really good. Who'd we see the last day? I can't even remember. Besides Dustin Lynch.
After Dustin Lynch was Kenny Chesney. No Shoes Nation, that's what I was saying.
Oh, Sheryl Crow played too.
Oh, that's cool.
He was before Dustin Lynch.
She was, yeah. So now I remember. But it was really good. They were giving away all sorts of freebie stuff. Like
I was going to ask that next. What did you get? Like free? Because I'm all about free swag.
Well, unfortunately, all the freebies were gone by like 5 o'clock every day. So all I got was like a bag, and that was it. But we saw like pins and bandanas and fans and visors and all sorts of stuff. But because I did not make it there till later, I lost out.
So how was it getting to like the actual festival from where you guys were staying? Was it difficult? Was it time consuming? Were Ubers expensive?
I don't think it was bad at all.
Yeah, we did the water taxi the first day, and the first day they did not have their stuff.
Sorry,
together.
Monique's got this face of a water taxi.
Yeah,
I want to know more.
Yeah.
We don't have water. You can't get around on water in California.
It's scary?
It's a ferry.
It's a
Oh,
ferry.
it's a ferry. Oh, okay. I was like,
It's a scary fairy.
Okay, sorry guys.
It's a freaking ferry.
Well, they called it a water taxi. That's what it said on our
Yes,
listing.
that's
But
what it
yes,
is.
It's a ferry.
How much does that
Yeah,
cost?
getting back on the water taxi if you stayed till the end was kind of a nightmare, from what I've heard. Other than that, Uber, I think weren't too bad. Is that how you got there, Michael, on day 2?
Yeah, actually, every day except going there with you the first day, we Ubered home and there. And from what I remember, we were kind of farther away, but on average between all of our friends, I think everyone paid probably 10 to, I think at max 25, maybe 30 if we got an XL. And for the amount of people and the distance, it was not bad. I don't think there was really much of a surge. And getting an Uber was not hard at all.
Awesome.
It was really easy. Everyone was picking up. You get one in 5 minutes or less.
Oh, that's
We
really
always
good.
walked a good bit away from the festival to go to some bars before we got our Uber home. So we didn't have a problem leaving every day. I had other friends that actually were able to find parking almost next to the festival, at least 2 or 3 of the days. So they said they think they were lucky. I think that's dope. Other than that, I know people walked a couple blocks and got an Uber a couple blocks away and wasn't bad. It's just general festival, good knowledge. Don't try and call an Uber from the gates. Walk a couple blocks.
Good tip to know for future reference. Thank you.
I do have a question about that. As far as like where the festival is located, you guys said that it was kind of like on a beachfront kind of. So what was surrounding that? Was it kind of like residential areas?
So basically, it's right off the main strip road that is next to the beach. So it's between the beach, that road and the water. And that road is actually still open, but they have crossing guards for it. And then around there, because it's next to the beach, is basically majority bars, restaurants, and liquor stores with a couple accessories and clothing stores. It's all the touristy stuff and the get drunk on the beach stuff.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool. I like how
It was actually one part was next to the marina, so they had jet ski rentals, paragliding rentals, boat rentals, this, that, and another thing.
That's really cool. So what was the time frame for the festival?
12 to 10 p. or 10, 12 to 10 p.m.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, not too bad.
That's sad.
Oh. What?
I'm not doing
And a
drunk
lot
it
of
at 10 p.m.
We moved it up to East Coast time, okay?
Went to bars there afterwards too. So,
Yeah, you could get
and
drunk at the
then-
bar after.
I guess.
Yeah, I went to shows every night, so except Sunday night. But yes, I went out in Miami 3 nights in a row afterwards.
Woo!
And Miami's not far from Fort Lauderdale either.
I miss Miami.
So I have another question. You guys talked about like all the different music that was there, the food and everything. How spread out was the festival? How many stages were there?
So there was 3 main stages and actually a 4th smaller Nissan-sponsored one that was kind of a pop-up one.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the main stage and the second main stage, called Sunset, were basically at polar opposites, kind of perpendicular to the beach.
Okay.
There wasn't really any sound lead for that. And then the Nissan, or the Nashville, Next from Nashville stage, was a 3rd and smaller and less known artist. And that was basically in a little tent in the middle. So there wasn't really sound lead for anything. It was awesome, especially considering how close they all were.
That's
Oh,
good.
wow.
That's very good.
So did you guys see a lot of turtles?
Did you see any turtles?
Did you bring any home?
No.
I was going to say, it's all about conservation, and they put a whole festival on the beach. I'm all
Yeah,
like,
that makes no sense.
They had fences around it, and it's for Rock the Ocean. RTO is the big what's it called, charity that puts on the festival.
Okay.
The whole festival is Rock the Ocean Tortuga.
Okay.
They're the one that it's a big charity that donates to different groups. They actually made sure to move all the turtles and turtle eggs for make sure of that. And they actually had like a charity thing where you could bet on which turtle was going to go the farthest in the ocean of travels, and that ended like a week before the festival. I actually haven't checked up on that, but I was reading, and when I was there doing a lot of like interest in all the conservation stuff.
And we did see a lot of lizards, though. For some reason, like lots of the big lizards
That's Florida for
And
you.
naked people. Saw a lot of naked people this week, too.
Wait,
What?
you saw
Go
naked
festival.
people? Where the hell were you?
I will
She was
say
having
they-
fun, obviously.
I saw naked
It's like,
people
for the
and-
turtles! Woo!
Wait. Which festival do you go to? I want to see naked people. What the hell?
Yeah,
Mike, I'm pretty sure those are naked people you don't want to see.
That's usually true, but the demographic and what I saw at the festival, I think at least 3 out of 5 would be enjoyable.
I'm going to Tortuga next year.
Yay! Hey, you all talk about rave booty. You don't know about that country booty.
Well,
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
oh my goodness.
it was a fun festival. It was really nice. I would say it was the last festival on our festival passport for Live Nation. So we did, yes, it was sad. We did have probably a little less than 20 people there total representing, but it was a good send off. I did cry on the plane on the way home. I didn't think I would, and then I found myself crying when I was by myself. So
It's an end of an era.
sad. Huh?
It was an end of an era for us. I mean, I definitely got to go places I never thought I would go with this passport, so I understand entirely.
Yeah. In one aspect, it was the ending of an era, but in another aspect, I think I don't know if we all really expected to create these friendships that we did and make, for me, it's a new life. This is what I wanted to do when I was 19, 20 years old and didn't have the guts to go out and do it and waited 20 years. And now I feel like I found my calling, and now I just got to make it happen. I don't know if that's how you guys feel, but that's how I feel.
Well, we're all going to make it happen together. That's why we're
Yeah.
all here.
Hell yeah, brother.
So just to kind of wrap up, are there any tips that you guys, in addition to the, walking away from the venue to catch your Uber, what other tips would you give for anyone who's trying to go to Tortuga?
Definitely, if you want to sit down, bring those towels, blankets, sheets for human use because they're bigger, or chairs. It's not that hard to carry. Bring a backpack. It was just great to be able to have, claim some space. They allow you to bring one, I think it was a 20-ounce unopened water bottle, as well as many empty ones as you wanted to fill up, as well as camelbacks. So definitely do that. There's plenty of water stations. I think just tips in general. Oh, always go to the outskirts. If you're trying to get to that stage on the sand and you don't want to struggle through the people and the sand, go to the outskirts. So that's just general festival. Always go around the edges.
Yeah, but that was really big for us, I think, on this festival, especially if we went towards the fence on the beach, then we were able to go straight up to the front. So that was a big tip for this one. You could go to the very front if you were on the edge. And it was a great view, too, which was great. Definitely stay hydrated. This was a drinking festival. By the time 7, 8 o'clock rolled around, everyone was drunk. So
I was like,
that's just one thing.
aren't all festivals drinking festivals?
Yeah, but this was kind of specifically drinking. I would not partake in anything else during this particular festival.
All right,
So
good tip there.
Yeah.
So,
But if you're a big country fan, and the venue was beautiful. You can't ask anything better than to hang out on the beach all day. I love that. It does get hot, but that's okay.
I am super jealous of you guys doing this wonderful beach festival. So, how would you guys rate it on a scale from 1 to 5? Mike?
Probably, I want to give it a 5, but I will say there's better. I have to give it a 4. I loved it. but there are bigger, better festivals. It's not the biggest festival. I got to go with 4. I want to give it a 5 so bad, though.
All right, Liz.
I'm gonna go with a 3.5, only because I feel like I'm very strict on festivals now. It was definitely average, a good average festival, like a really good one. If I was into country, I'd say probably a 4, 4.5. But because I'm not anymore, I'm saying 3.5.
All right.
Would you guys go back?
Yes. I have friends that have been many years before. That's actually how I heard of it before FestPass.
FYI,
My friends actually planned their bachelor party for that weekend so they could go.
Huh.
cool. FYI, Jake Coogan, who's watching us right now, says "See Here Now" is a great East Coast beach festival. Also, have you guys been to that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
As well.
And I went to See Here Now.
Yeah, I was
So
like, I know
here's-
Liz went.
Here's my comparison. Physically, Tortuga is a bigger festival. However, I like the music options better at See Here Now. So I would personally choose See Here Now over Tortuga, except for usually by this time, if I'm in New England, I want to get the heck out of the cold, and then I would go to Tortuga. So because it's in April and I've frozen already. But no, comparing the two festivals, I personally like See Here Now better.
Yeah, I'd go hang out because it's a multi-genre. It has rap, EDM, funk. I think it probably has some country too. And it's in Gulf Shores, one of the most beautiful beaches I've been to.
Yes, and Hangout, Michael posted today, Hangout, and I found out yesterday, they're doing a half price sale. We'll share the link here in the bottom of the comments for y'all. And that's a festival I've considered for a long time, like a couple years.
Very, very cool. So, Spence, I want to ask you a quick question. Since you were the one who actually did go to Ultra, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? Like, what was your experience? Like, did you get stuck on that bridge?
No, never. I am never going to be the one stuck on that damn bridge. So, first off, me and my friends, knowing it was the first day and it probably would be the worst day for getting out, took the ferry back. My friends had VIPs. So they actually put us on the VIP ferry. So we took the VIP ferry back, listening to music and recovering from all the whatever we did. I had a great time on that boat listening to music, and then we got a Uber straight to, I think it was Laserface. That whole time we were texting our friends who were too scared to take the ferry, and then found out they had to
scary
walk
ferry.
as we were getting into Laserface, and that they were walking the bridge and still not at their hotel. And we didn't understand the magnitude of what had happened until I think it was after Laserface that we actually figured it out, that people actually had to walk that whole bridge because there was an accident blocking the lanes for the shuttles. They actually had to eventually kick people off the shuttles and be like, we can't drive these, you guys got to walk.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was
Mind you,
definitely
that bridge-
after Laserface we found out about that, for sure.
Yeah, it was I think the bridge is only like a quarter of a mile, maybe half mile max. But, you know, put that many people on it, you're all like, what the hell? And then everyone gets to the other side and is trying to call Ubers. And they're already pissed off and trying to figure it out.
So outside of that fiasco, how was the festival?
I loved it. But then again, I can make the best out of anything as long as I have friends.
Have you been to Ultra
shuttles-
before or no?
That's where
Yeah, I
we
did
met.
last year. I did last year for the anniversary for Swedish House Mafia, of course. But the shuttles they provided were actually very good and very nice. Air conditioned, very large, spacious, and there was like 1 or 2 every minute. It was very quick. Drop-off point was easy. You got right into the festival. There was multiple entrances. You could pick which one you wanted. That was perfect. As far as in the festival, the one big thing I hated, which was a big complaint for a lot of people, was the main part of the festival was a bit of a walk from what's it called, Resistance Island, where a lot of the Carl Cox stage was, the Oasis stage, the Arrival stage, and then the Mega Structure. And no, the Carl Cox wasn't that sure. What's the other one called? Crap. Renegade, no, Resistance, the Resistance stage. Oh my God. It's like a 15 to 20 minute walk from one to another. Luckily, I made friends and got golf cart rides every day. But I actually got a shuttle bus one day with, I think it was some artist friends or producers. They were super bougie, and I just rode with them. They brought me with them, and I was like, cool.
Following you everywhere.
Until I realized that they were almost going to their hotel, so me and like the 3 other people hopped off and were like, okay, thanks for the shortcut. Not that funny. But as far as the stages go, basically at the main part, at the far end was the main stage. I probably actually spent the least time there. Worldwide and live stages were probably more of my favorites. Main stage still had great production. I'm just not a huge one for a million crap ton of people at a stage. My buddy actually got way to the front and was in the mosh pit with Shaq when he came on for Nightmare.
How terrifying.
What?
I don't
He's
know.
like 3 of a normal person.
That's amazing, though. That's like when you tell your grandchildren I was in a mosh pit with Shaq.
Shaq stepped on me.
Yeah, my favorite stage is Worldwide just because it's basically a big like rainbow over your head with a ton of light lasers and screens above you. Yeah. So like you're looking at the stage and there'll be like effects that basically start from the bottom, go up over your head and all the way back. Like I caught myself and my friends following it the whole way. And it was like, whoa. The one thing I hated compared to last year was there was 2 major roads or like walkways on either side. So in the back, there was a huge path, people dancing, doing hoops, and there was tons of space. This time it was actually against the water, so you could only get to it from one side. And there was a fence going maybe like a 1/5 of the way up from the front of the stage. So it kind of meant there was like a funnel getting in. Once you were in, there was space, but like from that fence to probably about halfway to the back of the stage, there was just congestion. So that made it lesser of a stage to me from the year before. Mm-hmm. The live stage I enjoyed a lot. That's where Odessa played. I believe Grizz played there. That stage was a ton of fun. The production there was amazing. Odessa at that stage is probably one of my sets other than Dog Blood because I love Skrillex and Voice Noise at the Worldwide stage.
So will you continue to go back to Ultra?
Yes and no. I've gotten for free through different avenues the past year. So if I can afford it, I'll do it. If I can get in for free, I'll definitely do it. But those are the ifs.
All right, that's very cool. Well, thank you for being our ambassador at Ultra because we only had Liz for one of the days.
Yeah, Miami Music Week is one of my favorite events of the year.
Oh man, well, Liz was telling us about that last week, and we all kind of want to go now too.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like it's so much curated stuff, and it's like different labels or groups or artists will curate their own events. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they can be like a little bit, weird or overrated because of the way Miami or the hotels and all that do it. But the way that a lot of it, like my friends from North Carolina and Beat Productions actually put on a lot of those stages. I think they did something with Chris Lake and a couple other artists, but they like hosted events every day. And it just blows my mind the amount of work and stuff they do for all that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going back for Miami Music Week. We'll see if I decide on Ultra or not, but I do, and I kind of did my own mini post Miami Music Weekend this weekend, which was fun. But the whole week there was awesome. But I do want to give a shout out to both Andy Brett and Catherine Jordan for helping us out with photography. I've got a lot more photos that I'm going to post this week. And yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for helping us. We really
I didn't realize how many they took until one of the hosts from Festival Addicts had a picture of me, and someone was like, dude, is that you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Me and my pineapple backpack.
Woo. Well, that's great. Thanks, guys, for definitely checking those events out and then reporting on all of those. But we've had quite a few things happening on the West Coast these past couple weeks. And the biggest one right now is, of course, Coachella. And we have quite a few in the studio right now who have attended some of the cool events that were happening out there in Indio. So Daniela and Bernard, do you want to tell us what you guys attended and how weekend one went?
Well, I went to Sound Presents at the Hilton in Palm Springs on Sunday, which was Nicole Mudaber, a lot of other people. I don't remember. Blacked out for a long time. Okay, I went to brunch, okay?
I understand. Like, you're forgiven at this point,
It was
yeah.
Walker and Royce. Yeah, that was a really good lineup.
So from what you remember?
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. Definitely do it again.
Typical
It was
pool
only
party.
$30.
It was only 30
Oh, that's
bucks.
definitely not bad. Not at all. Bernard?
A lot of the pool parties in Coachella are actually like $10 to $20 if you actually want to go out there for the weekend.
No.
I know the Seguro is doing a $20 show with house music.
There's a few that are free, too.
Yeah, a couple of a few are free. I just checked in at my hotel for this weekend, and they're gonna have a free pool party and DJ too. I don't know who's anybody's special playing, but we're gonna have that happen. That's at the V in Palm Springs. For people who want to go out to Coachella this weekend, the weirdest thing about Coachella, honestly, is this year is the one year the scalpers got their asses handed to them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! I think Top Knot Grande was not a big enough
Nope.
act to draw people to want to go see Coachella, and I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews from a lot of people.
Yeah, me too.
I think that the one of the people I know, Joy, she was there. She told me that the one person I want to see, Childish Gambino, was weird and not good. And then, but Cerez D killed the Yuma tent.
Yeah, I heard no complaints from the Yuma tent.
The Yuma tent, they said, was amazing.
It
It's air
looked
conditioned and
Oh,
all
yeah.
house music.
Yep.
So
Oh, that video alone made me want to just call off work.
right? But then there's some really cool things out there. Like I found out that there's a secret 70s disco bar happening at Coachella.
Ooh.
But I'm not revealing it until we get 25 live eyes on our video. So I know the exact location. We're at 5. We were at 8 for so far. So until we get 25 live eyes, I'm not letting
If we
you
get this shared 100 times,
yeah.
share the video 100 times and we'll reveal the secret location.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
But yeah, the people I talked to, they all said it was a pretty good time. I'm wondering how this weekend's going to be. I mean, the weather was great last weekend. They say it's going to be crazy hot this weekend.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as last year, though.
Definitely not as bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't know how this Kanye West thing's going to work out.
I definitely
Sunday
want to know
service?
about the Sunday service.
I want to go to Sunday service.
Bernard, I hear you are going.
I'm going to be an all white. I just bought
So can you guys give a recap for people who don't know what's going on Sunday?
Sunday at 9 a.m., Kanye West will be bringing church to Coachella, doing his Sunday service, where they bring out a full gospel choir and him playing and doing a service at that. I don't know
Probably
how.
ramp for an hour and a half.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
They're building
Again,
him a whole structure
It's
in the
built.
campsite.
They built
Yeah.
him a whole new
Yep.
structure in the campsite.
They
for
learned
this.
from last year.
And I'm confused why it's like free. Like I don't understand why they're those giant like it just doesn't make sense.
The shipping container or
Yeah,
whatever.
like I'm not
Probably the quickest way to build something that big.
Yeah.
but I feel like there's more to that than
They're gonna put art on the inside. Watch, they're gonna have some taggers get in there, tag it up really nice on the inside,
okay.
and make it look like the way Kanye wants it to look like. But
Okay.
I don't wear white, but if somebody lets me into Sunday service, I will.
And I think one of the caveats of that is that you have to be in the campgrounds.
it's in the campgrounds.
Yeah,
it's
so you
not
have-
on the grounds. So
Yeah.
Well, anyone with a Coachella ticket can get into the camping. So
yeah. But you'll be coming in off of Street 50
yeah, good luck.
And
to
the,
walk in,
and then
It's
the
gonna be
yellow
pain.
road. I know
Yeah.
that one. Ugh. I've done that one.
Purple path.
Purple path. That was my road.
So a lot of the other cool things, there was a lot more art installations that I could see from like all of the posts from everybody who was at weekend one.
Everyone?
Well, not
Not
you,
us?
Danielle. I was like, you didn't make it.
I know. I woke up sometime later that night in my car. Had a good time.
Hey, I'm jealous that I didn't.
I lost all my earrings on one ear.
Oh. That's a story.
Real good time.
That is a story that nobody will ever know about.
But yeah, so weekend 2 is definitely coming up, and if you are going, let us know if you're going, and then
Yo,
B will be there in full effect and in full ridiculousness. I can already guarantee.
look for the mohawk and the kilt.
it's making another Coachella comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Jake is bringing his bag of wine.
Who?
Jake, he's one of the guy that's commenting on our show.
Oh,
And
Jake.
Jake and Carly are going, I believe. So
It's gonna be fun.
And our photographer is going too, Precious.
Oh, Precious is going. Yay.
yes, and they've already started announcing who they're going to do on the live stream. I will say I did watch them on Sunday. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning and loved it. Had a blast. So
Yeah, the Coachella is live streamed from three stages are live stream at all times, certain artists, and it's all on YouTube for free. So if you can't make Coachella, you can at least listen to Coachella.
It's never the good stage, though.
No, they do some of the good stuff. I was watching. Who was I watching? That was awesome.
yeah, I watched Nightmare and he like threw down. And who else did I watch? I'm mad I missed Keizo. I did watch part of Closey, but they cut her off halfway through, and someone was extremely unhappy about that and let them know to me. I was like, look, it was posted. It was only going to be 45 minutes, and I got a yelling at. But yeah, that was okay. It was fun. Oh, Dylan Francis threw down, too. That was a good one.
I call that home cella when you watch the live stream.
Home cella?
Home cella.
I want to go to
Couchella.
Porchella.
Porch
Couch
cella?
cella?
Couch cella. I like that.
Couch
cella. So for everybody who is not actually going to be in attendance, you can join the couch cella and watch the live stream on YouTube. I think I'll do that this
And
weekend.
pro tip, don't set anything on fire and wait till nighttime for your Ferris wheel blowjobs.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we had a fire that happened in the campground. Somebody was lighting off the propane tanks at one of the showers.
Yeah.
Oh.
They lost a whole shower unit and burned, like, damaged the next one or something.
People
like
smell
that.
enough there. Please don't break the showers.
Yeah, seriously. What wipes out your friends?
That's so unfortunate. So, Bernard, who are you excited to see this weekend other than the Sunday service?
The beer tent. You think I'm kidding?
He's not.
Listen, I somebody asked me today, like,
beer in hand.
oh, they have a craft beer tent, so you have all the fancy beers like crazy. So you can get crazy gravity IPAs. One year they actually had Pliny the Younger. If you didn't, since you might not know, that's one of the rarer beers you can get. It's a quadruple IPA done by Russian River. It is nuts. They cost $20 for like a 5-ounce pour, but they had it at the Coachella beer tent.
Interesting.
The thing about Coachella to me is, as of right now, it no longer care. I don't care who's playing. I'm gonna be there with people who I know. We're gonna have a good time and watch some really cool artists. There's no. I will be there for Los Tucanes de Tijuana because that's gonna be a party. That's gonna be a bona fide party. But I've been noticing that there's a lot more international acts at Coachella. Like there's a K-pop group.
Yeah, I saw that. The first K-pop group to perform at
so
Coachella.
the K-pop group is actually at the Sahara tent. So
I like the Sahara
I'm going to
tent.
watch
Yeah.
them do their weird things they do from the beer garden. And
You just stand in the beer garden, turn around to different stages. Just like,
no, okay, so since they increased the size of Coachella as of last year, so the craft beer garden actually has a perfect view of the Sahara tent. You can sit in the Sahara tent and drink good beer, and you can be by the Dew Lab, but you won't hear nothing at the Dew Lab from the craft beer garden. It's sort of weird how they increased the footprint a lot. That's why they're not allowed 130,000 people to Coachella. But yeah, that's the one shitty thing about Coachella is that you have to stay in your beer pen or your alcohol pen to
Don't
watch a
like
show.
that. That is never
So,
fun. I like to listen to music and drink booze at the same time.
Rum runners, everybody. Rum runners.
Drink them sunscreen bottles. Always looks very tasty.
But no, if you going, if you haven't been, just go and have a good time. I mean, this year me and my friends were dressing up DC characters. We need a Wonder Woman, so I figure I'm just gonna walk around to random chicks to see if they want to be our Wonder Woman for our group.
Oh,
So-
that's always fun.
Yeah,
Get Precious. There you go.
yeah, we should get Precious, but I think the shirt's a little big for her. She's gonna make fun of me for it. So
Hey, a pair of scissors can fix anything.
Yeah.
got it.
Buy her some Wonder Woman pasty. She's good.
Done.
That's awesome. So Coachella Weekend 2 is happening this weekend. And next week, we will definitely do our recaps from weekend 1 and 2 and all of the fun things that have happened. So if
yeah.
you are going, definitely make sure you take sunscreen, a bandana, a hat,
Oh yeah. And-
good
and
vibes.
a
Drink
reminder,
your water.
A reminder.
water.
If you are camping, Amazon will deliver to the campsite if you need anything.
Postmates will too.
Postmates will deliver food to you. Amazon will deliver. You'll be set up. You just be ready. If you can find somebody outside to bring you extra stuff too, knock it out. And travel light. You don't need to carry all that shit with you. Trust me. I always overpack for Coachella. You don't need to overpack. But bring soap. We need you to be clean.
That is awesome. So, because we're kind of talking about what's coming up next, we definitely, since festival season is now upon us, we definitely want to keep you guys updated on which events are coming up soon. So, we've taken the liberty of doing some of the hard work for you, and we're going to tell you a couple of things that are coming up. So, as you know, weekend 2 of Coachella is happening. Also, during this weekend, we've got the Festival Addicts going to be out and about. And we're also going to be attending Deadbeats 420 Fest in Chandler, Arizona. And then, Kelly, I think you have some info on that one, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Deadbeats looks amazing. I was checking out the lineup. It's only for the one day, but still $70 with fees for some amazing acts that night. You really can't beat it. And I believe Misa's going to be out there.
Yeah, so
checking that out
Misa,
for us.
so if you're definitely out there, definitely look for her. She'll have some Festival Addicts merchandise so you can actually see it. And then we'll have that up and available soon. We've also got Ooby Dooby that's happening next weekend. Not a lot happening this weekend because Coachella is kind of it's a big competitor. But next weekend, there's a whole lot going on. We got Ooby Dooby in Fort Worth, Texas. We've also got What Electric that's happening in Tempe. Also, the same day as that is the Tiger Dance After Party, which is also happening out there. And then, of course, following Coachella is always Stagecoach.
Country Coachella.
It's Country Coachella where they don't have the beer garden restrictions and Diplo's performing. So
I'm so...
How did Diplo get into that
Money?
one? That's
Because he's smart. That's why.
there's a lot of crossovers happening. So that's very interesting. Also, that same weekend is Desert Hearts, and we do have
Bernard's going to be there.
As well as Misa,
representing-
yeah.
And Misa.
look for the Festival Addicts flag.
Yeah, don't look for me to be coherent.
And then Kelly, do you have info on those?
On the Desert Hearts, I believe it's a very small venue. It's a little bit hard to get into, but the closest ticket price I could find was $475 for including shuttle and in there off of a StubHub. But I mean, it was only like 1 or 2 tickets left. So it was a small event. It sold out really quick, but it's going to be fun. It's closer to San Diego, I believe.
Yeah, Coyote Indian Reservation, the Los Coyotes Indian Reservation is where that's going to be taking place.
But definitely, Desert Hearts has been a staple, and they do a good time, good production, smaller thing, but definitely got to devote following for them.
Awesome. And the next we have that's happening the week after is Off the Rails, which is happening on May 4th, and that's going to be in Dallas, Fort Worth, Frisco, Texas.
In our interview last week.
Yeah,
covered
and
this a
our
bit,
buddy
right?
Jamie from Flip Ticks, they're actually going to be present at that event. So if you are going and you decide to leave early, flip your ticket.
Definitely.
But get that app. Don't forget to get that app.
Download it beforehand. There might
already
be
on my
some
phone.
incentives.
I still have $10, but we're not going to go there just yet.
We're
not
all rooting for Jamie and Flip Ticks.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I like that there's so much Texas love on this future events because sometimes Texas doesn't get all the stuff, but I'm happy that they're coming up.
Well, they kicked out Insomniac. What do you expect?
I wish I would have made it to, is it Middle Grounds or whatever it's called?
Middlelands?
Middlelands, yeah.
Looked
Everybody
fun.
said that was so amazing.
So also keeping this going, May 4th is Just Like Heaven. That's going to be actually in Long Beach.
So the Queen Mary, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Queen Mary. I think the Yeahs are going to be there. I looked up that lineup. And then following that weekend is EDC Japan.
Oh,
Monique's birthday party.
I will
Somebody's
be in Japan. I'm actually very excited because my future husband Jay Park is going to be performing. He will be at Cosmic Meadow. Him and Yultron, they're going to be performing. So if you are going to be at EDC Japan, that's the stage you need to be at during that time. But not too close because then he can't see me, and then that's going to be every kind of problem. But that's okay.
And then Monique is in Japan jail.
Oh man! So I looked it up. It was 22,000 yen.
Yeah, which is
translate to $196.
Yeah, for
both
GA.
Before fees, but
Yeah.
both days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's
But-
for general admission. I think they're on tier 2, and then for VIP, I think it's like 4 something because they're also on tier 2.
Yeah.
So, but if you're there,
So if you can buy a very expensive plane ticket to Japan, then you can go to a very affordable festival.
we are the Festival Addicts, and we are reporting all festivals, international and domestic. And then another big thing that's coming up, even though it's kind of far out, is Memorial Day weekend. And as we all know, that is a really big weekend, and there's a lot of events that are taking place. So we just want to give you guys a heads up of what's happening, so that way you guys can start preparing, buying flights, because it's a few weeks out. So we've got EDC Las Vegas that's happening, of course, in Vegas, and that's a
The
really big one.
Mecca, the big one.
It's the
Yep.
big festival.
If anyone wants to kidnap me, please do.
She's a size VIP or general admission and concert tickets, just in case.
I'm also a size you drag me inside and nobody looks either way. It's fine.
Also happening the weekend before that, is the Prime Music Festival, which is happening in Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's the same weekend as EDCLV.
Yeah, that's the same weekend, yeah. And then also Memorial Day weekend, we've got Movement that's happening in Detroit. And I've heard nothing but good things about Movement.
Liz, are you heading to Movement that weekend?
I am heading to Movement, and I am heading to Shaky Beat 2 weeks prior to that. And actually, a few of us are doing that combination,
Nice.
or at least 2 of us. That whole weekend, there's actually 6 festivals that I know of off the top of my head. And that's Boston Calling in Boston, Bottle Rock in Napa Valley, Gather Festival in Monticello, New York, which is a smaller one. Sunset is down in Tampa, and My Life Every Day is in San Diego.
Yeah.
Along with Movement.
One more.
So,
Punk rock bowling in Vegas.
Oh, punk rock bowling.
oh man.
It's always a fun weekend. Holiday weekends
That's
always.
interesting.
Yeah.
People are off. Why not? Go celebrate.
So if you are looking for something to do, we have given you plenty to choose from.
There's literally something for everyone that weekend.
Yeah.
Literally something for
I would
everyone.
kill to go to Movement.
Everyone wants
She
to come to
didn't mean that.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. The FBI agent's watching it. She didn't mean it.
Figuratively.
My FBI agent knows who I am.
Oh man.
So yeah, definitely.
A lot of fun events happening in May for sure.
So if you are planning to do any of those things, definitely you want to get your tickets. You can check secondary markets for some of these big events that are sold out. And definitely remember to keep us in mind. We will definitely be representing at all of these different events, a lot of these different events.
We're going to have some flags that we're going to be showing off. We got some new gear that we're going to be showing off. And I also wanted to give a big shout out to rayflags.com because they definitely supply our needs for whenever we want to be like loud and proud and have a big, huge flag tied to your back like a amazing cape or on a pole, rayflags.com.
Or if you want to use it as, a beach cover up. Or swim cover up.
Or a towel or anything.
And did we mention that they're sponsoring today's episode?
Yes.
Thank you, rayflags.com.
Thank you, rayflags.com.
So
They're cool peeps. I'm just saying they do a lot of custom work and they definitely do it for an affordable price. So
And
I feel really good shouting them out all the time.
good quality stuff too. Like I've seen a lot of the flags that they've made, and it's just
My Cascade flag.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
definitely. Yeah. So if you guys are at any of these music festivals, definitely let us know. Use our hashtags Festival Addicts 247 or FA247, and give us a shout out. Let us know where you're at so we can see all of the festivals that you're going to. So while we're on the subject of hashtags, why don't we give out?
All right. So I'm on Facebook as Kelly Arianis, or if you're on Instagram, I'm perverted_Patty.
And I'm at DiningLove22492 on Twitter and Instagram.
Liz?
I am Lizzie.May, LIZY.MAE on Instagram.
Spence?
Is gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
Spence is
he
gone.
left.
He had a date.
Oh, what a bitch.
At least he's not calling us from the bathroom again. He did that one episode. He's not on the phone, so I can say that now.
Oh my God.
Spence has priorities. I get it.
It's okay. We're old news. It's fine. Bernard.
I'm on Instagram at Fat Black and Awesome.
And definitely check out our show on Festival Addicts on Facebook, also Festival Addicts 247 on Instagram. I am Your Mocha Princess, and you can find me on Instagram at Your Mocha Princess. And did we reach 25 at any point?
No.
Nope,
So the secret stays with me. I'll enjoy it all. I'll enjoy that place by myself.
Ha ha, guys, you missed out.
Share our video.
But here, I'll give you some good numbers we did have tonight. we actually had a reach of like 700 so far.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we did really, really well on our reach. A lot of people went out and shared our stuff for us, which was really amazing. And but yeah, we did tonight. We might hit it probably 2,000 by next week, easy.
fantastic. But we're still keeping that hidden disco a secret. Sorry, guys. So thank you guys all for tuning in and listening to us. And remember, keep us in mind, use those hashtags, and we will see you guys next week for our Coachella recaps. Thanks, ladies, and Bernard, and everybody, Liz, and Spence, who's not here.
Good luck on your dates, Spence.
Yeah.